The Real Housewives of Atlanta fans know Kandi Burruss as the ultimate hustler, a woman who built an empire from songwriting royalties, reality TV, and smart business moves. But even the most successful entrepreneurs face their toughest challenges at home. Recently, tensions have been brewing between Kandi and her daughter Riley, and it's all playing out in the public eye. From spending habits that made Kandi raise an eyebrow, to heated discussions about financial independence, this mother-daughter duo is navigating the complex world of privilege, responsibility, and growing up wealthy. Today, we're diving deep into the Burruss family dynamics, exploring how Kandi is trying to balance being a supportive mother while teaching her daughter the value of money, and why their recent exchanges have fans talking. This is a story about more than just family drama. It's about the challenges of raising financially responsible children when you've got money, and the delicate balance between providing for your kids and preparing them for the real world. To understand the current tensions, we need to look at Riley's upbringing. Born in 2002, Riley Burruss has lived a life most people can only dream of. She's grown up watching her mother build multiple successful businesses, from Kandi's music career that produced hits for groups like TLC and Destiny's Child, to her restaurant ventures, sex toy line, and various other enterprises. Riley has been in the spotlight since she was a child, appearing on The Real Housewives of Atlanta and watching her family's wealth grow exponentially. She's attended private schools, taken luxury vacations, and never had to worry about basic necessities. But here's where it gets interesting. Kandi has always been vocal about wanting to teach her children the value of hard work. Despite their wealth, she's consistently emphasized that her kids need to understand money doesn't grow on trees. However, as Riley has gotten older, it's become clear that there's a gap between Kandi's intentions and Riley's reality. When you grow up wealthy, it's easy to develop a different relationship with money than someone who had to struggle for it. Riley's college experience at New York University has been a major source of tension. The transition from high school to college is challenging for any family, but when you add significant wealth into the mix, the stakes get higher. During her time at NYU, Riley has been living the typical college experience, but with a luxury twist. And this is where Kandi started to notice some concerning patterns. On the reality show, Next Gen NYC, which followed the children of various celebrities, Riley's spending habits became a topic of discussion. Kandi admitted that some of Riley's financial choices made her raise an eyebrow. The issue wasn't necessarily that Riley was being reckless, but rather that she seemed to have a casual relationship with money that concerned her mother. When you've never had to budget for groceries or worry about rent, it's easy to lose sight of what things actually cost. Kandi found herself in the position that many wealthy parents face. How do you teach financial responsibility to someone who has never experienced financial consequences? The real tensions came to a head after Riley's college graduation. This is when many young adults start thinking about financial independence, but Riley's situation was more complex. Unlike most college graduates who are forced into independence by necessity, Riley had the luxury of choice. She could continue relying on her mother's financial support, or she could choose to become independent. Recent reports suggest that Kandi and Riley have had some frank conversations about this transition. Kandi has made it clear that while she's proud of Riley's accomplishments, she expects her to start taking more responsibility for her own financial future. This has led to some tense moments between them. Riley, who has grown up with certain expectations about her lifestyle, has had to confront the reality that her mother isn't going to fund her forever, or at least not without conditions. Sources close to the family suggest that these conversations have been emotional, with both mother and daughter expressing frustration. Riley feels like she's being pushed out of the nest too quickly, while Kandi feels like she's trying to prepare her daughter for the real world. One of the most telling moments in their recent relationship came during a television appearance where Kandi directly addressed Riley's privilege. In what some viewers described as a reality check moment, Kandi didn't hesitate to call out Riley's privileged perspective. She made it clear that Riley's experiences aren't typical, and that she needs to understand how fortunate she's been. This wasn't done maliciously, it was a mother trying to ensure her daughter doesn't lose touch with reality. But for Riley, having her privilege called out publicly was likely embarrassing and frustrating. The incident highlighted the ongoing tension between them, Kandi's desire to keep Riley grounded versus Riley's natural assumption that her lifestyle is normal. This dynamic is playing out in real time, and fans are watching a wealthy family navigate the same issues that many families face, just with higher stakes and more public scrutiny. Another source of tension appears to be around Riley's career expectations. Kandi has built her success through relentless hard work and smart business decisions. She's created multiple revenue streams and has always been hands-on with her ventures. There are indications that Kandi expects Riley to follow a similar path, to work for her success rather than simply inherit it. This means Riley can't just coast on her mother's achievements, she needs to prove herself. However, Riley has grown up watching her mother's success, and there may be an expectation that she should have access to the same resources and opportunities without necessarily putting in the same groundwork. This has created a complicated dynamic where Riley wants to benefit from her mother's success, but Kandi wants to ensure that Riley develops her own work ethic and business acumen. The tension isn't just about money, it's about values, work ethic, and what it means to earn your place in the world. Adding complexity to their relationship is the fact that their lives are constantly under public scrutiny. Every interaction, every comment, every family moment is analyzed by fans and critics alike. Riley has grown up in the social media age, and her lifestyle is often on display. This has created additional pressure on Kandi to ensure that Riley is presenting herself appropriately and not appearing too entitled or out of touch. At the same time, Riley is a young adult trying to figure out her identity while living in the public eye. The normal process of making mistakes and learning from them is complicated when everything is documented and discussed online. This public aspect of their relationship adds another layer of stress to their financial discussions. Kandi has to balance being a supportive mother with maintaining her own reputation as someone who raises responsible children. What's really at the heart of their tensions is a generational divide that many wealthy families experience. Kandi grew up with less and had to work for everything she achieved. Riley has grown up with abundance and has never known scarcity. This creates different perspectives on money, work, and responsibility. Kandi sees money as something to be earned and respected. Riley has grown up seeing money as something that's simply available when needed. Neither perspective is necessarily wrong, but they're incompatible when it comes to family dynamics and expectations. Kandi is trying to bridge this gap by setting boundaries and expectations, but Riley is having to adjust her entire worldview about money and independence. Despite these tensions, it's clear that Kandi and Riley love each other deeply. Their disagreements aren't about fundamental values, they're about the practical realities of transitioning from a dependent child to an independent adult. Recent social media posts suggest that they're working through these issues together. Kandi continues to support Riley while also pushing her toward greater independence. Riley, for her part, seems to be gradually understanding her mother's perspective. She's starting to engage more seriously with questions about her future career and financial responsibility. The tensions between them aren't unusual, they're actually quite normal for any family navigating this transition. The difference is that their process is happening in public, with fans and critics weighing in on every interaction. The story of Kandi and Riley Burruss is ultimately about the universal challenge of parenting, preparing your children for independence while maintaining a loving relationship. Their situation is complicated by wealth and fame, but the core issues are ones that many families face. How do you teach responsibility? How do you balance support with independence? How do you prepare your children for a world that may be different from the one they grew up in? Kandi's approach, setting boundaries and expectations while maintaining love and support, is one that many parents can relate to, regardless of their financial situation. As for Riley, her journey toward independence is still ongoing. She's learning to navigate the complex relationship between privilege and responsibility, and that's a lesson that will serve her well throughout her life. Their story reminds us that family relationships are complex, and that even the most successful people face challenges when it comes to raising their children. The key is communication, love, and the willingness to work through disagreements together. What do you think about Kandi's approach to teaching financial responsibility? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more celebrity family dynamics.